Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you all fine and I hope you all had a great game week 5. I welcome you all to the deadline stream for game week 6. And let's get started, fellas. Storm's Shadow says we meet again, Wiz. It's nice to see you. Welcome, my friend. Hey Matea, hey Todd, Jushin, Barry, SH. Thank you so much for being here. SH, my game week 5 was pretty good indeed. I got 78 points. I got lucky with Tony and Ben Rama. It was a pretty good game week for me, to be honest with you. Light Ray says, hey Wiz, hey my friend, what's up? Anis says start Cancelo or Smith Rowe. Cancelo or Smith Rowe? I'd start Cancelo because he's nailed on. With Smith Rowe I can't say. Hey Alvin, what's up my friend? Matthias says, I'm good, ready for some final questions and calls to be made. Sure, my friend, hit me with them and I'll try my best to give you my answers. Hey Jackson, welcome. I'd just like to talk you through my team before we just go through your questions today. Currently I haven't made any transfer and I already got 2 free transfers, so essentially I'm gonna have to make a transfer before the deadline if I don't have so that I don't waste my transfer. But the only news I'm waiting on is Rafinha, whether Rafinha starts or not. If I'm sure Rafinha is starting, then I'll just probably make a sideways move, maybe take Ivan Toney out for somebody, or maybe just take like Ayling out for Lowton, something of that sort. And if not, then I'd possibly move out Rafinha for Sarr. So that's about my team. Now let's get an answer to questions. Khalid says start Sa or Foster. If I was you, my friend, I'd say, Watford are decent, but not defensively. They haven't looked so solid, to be honest with you. Especially with now Kiko Femenia is injured again. Not sure if he's gonna start. I'd say Jose Sa is the better option, to be honest. Although Southampton is a better team than Newcastle as well, so that's touch and go. But Wolves are fine, I'd say. Better. Namaskar, Mon. How are you, my friend? Linkin Park says Duffy or Semedo. Semedo, my friend. He's just got that, at least one of these days he's gonna haul, so I hope you catch that haul, bro. Storm Shadow says Jota, Greenwood for Sar. Yeah, I'd say if you have to make that move, I'd say Greenwood for Sar looks to be the better one. Although, Greenwood, they're both, I think, rotation risks now with Sancho and Rashford coming back soon. I'd say, and with Jota, there's a rotation risk with Firmino coming back. So, eventually you have to get them both out. I'd say Greenwood would be the one for me for this game week. What do you think about Antonio for captain? I think he's pretty good option. I think he's among the top 3 options for this game week. Salah, Ronaldo and Antonio would be my 3 top shouts for captaincy, my friend. Dexter says, yes, I need some help. I got 2 free transfers. Sanchez, Foster, Shaw, Trent, Ayling, Weltman, White, Salah, Bruno, Greenwood, Benrahma, Harrison, Jimenez, Armstrong, Antonio. That team looks good to me, my friend. I not sure what I would change in that. For this game week, that team looks pretty strong to me. Maybe Green, because you've got Bruno and Greenwood. You could possibly move out Greenwood for Sarr. Matthias says Rafinha to Sarr anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking about it, my friend. I'm just waiting on Twitter. Maybe I'll get some news about what's gonna happen with Rafinha and Sarr and yeah, I'm thinking about that because Rafinha's got some really good fixtures. I just don't want to take him out of my team just because you see here he plays Watford next and then Southampton, Wolves, Norwich, and I don't want to transfer him out unless it's confirmed that he's not going to play. And if on Twitter somebody confirms it, I'll definitely update you guys so that don't have any issues with that. What's the situation with Jota? I think Jota is good for this game week, but I think after this game week Firmino is going to come back, so not so good after that. Why not bring in Gray or Townsend? Because I know why you're thinking about Gray or Townsend, Shopnan. The thing is, it's not about one game week for me. The thing is, they play Norwich this game week, but then they play Manchester United after that, and I am not so sure how good Everton are gonna be without Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. So just take that with a pinch of salt, my friend. They don't have the 2 best strikers. Solomon Rondon, with all due respect, is not the same level, I'd say. Will Fernando Torres start? I think he would. He got a rest in the last game week. I think he would start. Jaditya says Arnold captain. If you want to, bro. If you want to, you can. But I never recommend going with the defensive captain, especially when you've got obvious options in Salah, Ronaldo, Antonio. Dexter says, should I bring in Ronaldo? I got 2 free transfers. Dexter, the thing is about bringing in Ronaldo is, let me show you this. So if you're bringing Ronaldo now, so essentially bringing him in for Aston Villa, Everton, Leicester, Liverpool, Tottenham, Manchester City, I wouldn't recommend that. To be honest with you, I'd wait one more game week and go for Lukaku in place of Ronaldo. You know, I'd say Chelsea have got some amazing fixtures, and Lukaku is the one you should be targeting, not Ronaldo right now. That's just my opinion, by the way. Anis says, is it better to captain Antonio over Salah considering the defense of... Yeah, I mean, Brentford have been defensively good, and I totally give you that. The problem is, you know, they haven't played a team as good as Liverpool at the moment, so we don't know. I mean, they played against Wolves, Arsenal. They're not the same attacking team as Liverpool. Liverpool are in the form of their lives right now, so you know, I think Liverpool can put them to the sword. The Brentford defense. So let's see what happens there. Antonio is well rested. I'm stuck between Ronaldo. See, there's no wrong between captaining Antonio and Ronaldo is what I'm gonna say to you guys, right? If whatever your instinct says, you should go with that. You know, I don't think there's any wrong between captaining Ronaldo or Antonio. That's a pretty, you know, tough one to just choice to make. Aman, good morning, my friend. I've been all right. What about yourself? I hope you've been fine. Greenwood to Benrahma. SH, you know, I know why you want to go with Benrahma. I think West Ham got some really good fixtures. The thing about Benrahma is he's just not been that active in and around the box. The goal he got was also a deflection, so that is the only reason I'm not sure about Benrahma. I'd say Antonio is a much better option than Benrahma at the moment. Aman says, transfer plans, Tony to St. Maxima, Ronaldo to Lukaku, Shaw to Rudiger. I mean, if these transfer plans are for the next game week, I'd be pretty happy. For this game week, I'd say just do Tony to Alan St. Maxima and let Ronaldo and Shaw be there. Roll your transfer, and then next game week, make Ronaldo to Lukaku and Shaw to Rudiger, and I'll be totally happy with that, my friend. Barry says, I've got Bruno, but no Salah. Should I transfer Bruno out for Salah? I think you can. I think Salah's got much more upside than Bruno, especially that we don't know whether Bruno is going to be on penalties. But I think Ronaldo is on penalties, so I think, you know, Bruno and Salah at this moment in time, Salah has the edge over Bruno. So if I was you, I would definitely do that, Barry, because, you know, the longer you go without Salah, the longer you are going without a captaincy option, a nailed-on captaincy option in your team, and especially with a player who's like 50. Let me show you how much he is owned. So I think he's more than 50%, 58% owned. I think you should definitely do it. Ailing to Cancelo. Aman, you could do it next game week. This game week, I'm not so sure. They're playing Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea's Chelsea, right? They're gonna win the league for me. Raghav says, hi, Viz, I've got 2 free transfers, Torres and Tony out, Sar and Maximin in. I mean, I totally agree with Torres to Sar. I think that's a good move to make. With Tony to Maximin, you could think about going with somebody like Dennis as well. You know, Alan Saint Maximin is a bit of a, you know, hot and cold kind of a player at the moment. You know, the goals he scores, I don't think they're sustainable. Dribbling past like 10 players and shooting, I just don't think that's sustainable in the long term. Especially, let's see what happens when Wilson comes back as well. Inks to Antonio, totally initial, definitely yes. Dexter says, cool. What 2 players would you recommend? Dexter, hang on, I need to go back and check your team. Yeah. So basically, I'd say Sar and Ronaldo. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Not Ronaldo. For this game week, I'd say, you know, I'm not sure if you should get Lukaku in this game week. Maybe you should make one transfer, you know, get the funds and prepare for the next game week, Dexter. It's a bit hard for me to kind of do it on the live stream, you know, too many questions coming in. FPL Light says, hey Viz, how long is Bamford out for? That is a good question, bro. Just give me a second. I'll have a look. I've written in my notes here, but I think he's definitely out for this game week. We all know that, but you know, let's just read how long he's out for in my notes here. Yeah. Where is it? All right, here. So. What's happened to Bamford? Now, Bamford is a knock, so I'm not sure how long he's out for. I think he's out for maybe 1 or 2 game weeks at the most. I think he should be out for 1 game week according to the notes that I've written here. So if anybody knows for sure, let me know. J Cam says, "Good day, Viz. Good day to you too, Jay." Sofal or Semedo? Sofal, I'd say. Tierney or Semedo? Semedo. I think he's got the better fixture. Joseph says, double up on Chelsea defense after this game week. Totally, my friend. After this game week, you should double up. Yes. Torres and Bamford out for Antonio and Sarr for a hit. Long-term plan. That looks good to me, Matea. I think that looks good to me. Antonio and Sarr are both really good options. Not just for this game week, but for the long term. So Sarr, I'm not so sure about the long term, but at least for the short term, that means the next 2 or 3 game weeks he's good. Antonio is obviously a long-term option. So yeah. Aman says, yeah, I'm in transfers. I like all those transfers, Aman. If you're that's your long-term plan, I'm totally with it, bro. Akshay says, hi, Viz, best captaincy option. Akshay, there is like not a single best captaincy option. There's like a couple, like you could think about Salah against Brentford, Ronaldo against Aston Villa, and Antonio against Leeds. Those are the 3 which I've totally, earmarked for captaincy. Personally, right now I'm on Ronaldo. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case come the end of the deadline. I'm possibly thinking about Salah as well. So it has to be between Salah and Ronaldo. The early game week fear is real. Captaining the player in the first game of the game week is real. The fear is real, bro. Aaron, hey, what's up, my friend? What do you think it's time to get rid of Jimenez or wait a few game weeks? If I was you, if you already have Jimenez, I'd wait a few game weeks, to be honest with you, Aaron. Sofal or Samir, I already answered that. Sofal. Babin says, I have Rafinha and Bamford. Whom should I transfer out? If I was you, I'd transfer out Bamford, because Bamford is just totally not going to start this game because Rafinha still has a 50-50 chance. So yeah, if I was you, I'd take out Bamford. Jay says, I have 1 free transfer, don't have Antonio and Benrahma. What do you think about Rafinha to Sarr Benrahma? If I was you, my friend, I would get Antonio. I think Antonio is more important than getting Benrahma. He's absolutely gonna butcher that Leeds defense. Leeds have got so many injuries. I mean, do you know they had Ayling playing in centre back in the last game week, and even Ayling got injured. They don't have fit centre backs, those guys, and I think Antonio's gonna butcher that defense. And if you don't have Antonio, I think you should go for him. Hey Viz, how are you? I'm fine, Sid. Thank you so much. Any Rafinha news? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the Rafinha news myself, bro. As long as if I get any news, I'll let you guys know. I'm looking on Twitter as I talk to you. I keep looking on Twitter for any news, any updates or anything like that. If I have any news or updates, I'll let you guys know. Moving on. Sorry. Mohammed Babikar. I already answered that, bro. Sofal over Semedo. Barry says, I've got 2 midfielders for 13.7. Can you suggest? I've got to get 2 midfielders for 13.7. Sarr, I'd say Sarr is a really good option, my friend. For this game week, I'd say even somebody like Doucouré or Demarai Gray is good, but long term is I'm not so sure about that. I can say Sarr is a good long term option too. Not so much sure about Gray or Doucouré. George says, hi Viz, holding off on selling Bamford, doing Ayling to Rudiger in preparation. The thing is, George, I totally agree with you holding Bamford. The only problem with this move is, there's a big, for example, you're getting Rudiger this game week. I'm not sure if Chelsea are going to be able to keep a clean sheet against Manchester City. So that is essentially, you're going to be suffering a bit this game week for the long term. I'm not sure when are you planning to use your wildcard, but if you kind of plan to use your wildcard soon, then I would play for the upside and not for the long term, So it all depends upon when you plan to use your wildcard, George. So let me know and I'll give you my opinion. Alan, St. Maxima or Armstrong? Long term, I'd say Armstrong is the better option. Short term, I'd say St. Maxima. Start Duffy or Livramento. If I was you, I'd start Livramento. If you already have Duffy, it depends who your keeper is. If you've got Sanchez as your goalkeeper, I'd say Livramento. But if you don't have Sanchez, I'd say you can. If you don't have Sanchez, you could go with Duffy. Aditya says Martinez or Sanchez, whom to start this game week? Sanchez, my friend. Matthias says Sarr for Gallagher game week 11. Yeah, Gallagher has really good fixtures after game week 10. I totally buy that, Matthias. Good idea, bro. Mohammed Babikar, I have answered your question so many times, bro. I don't know how to convince you. I said Sofal, bro. That is I'd say West Ham have got the better fixture and they've got a more potential of a clean sheet. So I'd say so far, I mean, Leeds don't have Bamford. Rafinha is a doubt. Harrison's coming back from an injury. I'd say West Ham have got a better chance of a clean sheet. I don't know how else to say it. It's a bad sign when the guys who own Jimenez want to sell him and people want to get him in for Bamford. George, it's not that, it's a saying in India. It says that when you look at somebody else's plate, the pizza on somebody else's plate always looks larger than the pizza on your plate. It's actually it's for some Indian sweet, but the analogy is the same. Pizza slice on somebody else's plate looks bigger. If you put the same two pizza slices, one on your plate and one on somebody else's, the one on the others always looks bigger. So it's the same thing. Ones who've got Jimenez want to get rid, ones who don't have Jimenez, they want to get Jimenez. It's the fear of missing out. That's all there is to it, bro. So there's a big psychology involved in FPL too. So we need to kind of go with that. I'm sorry, I need to move on in questions, guys. I'm sorry for missing some questions, but there's too many today. George says, hey Wiz, I'll play my wildcard in game week 14. Oh, so you're basically targeting the United fixture swing. I totally get that, George. Then I'd say getting Rudiger is not the worst idea, bro. Totally agree with that. Barry says, Gallagher or Gray? Probably will wildcard in game week 7. If you're going to wildcard in game week 7, I'd say I'd go with Demarai Gray. Because they don't have Richarlison and they don't have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and Gray is getting into some great positions, and they play Norwich. The upside is there, so I'd definitely say Demarai Gray, yeah? Best Bamford replacement. Antonio, if you don't have him, is definitely a good replacement. If you already got Antonio, I don't like any other strikers. Armstrong, after game week 8, could be a good option, but not right now. I'd say you could downgrade to somebody like Dennis or maybe even Josh King, But there's not many good options in that price category, Ajay says, hey mate, I'm here. Hey Ajay, what's up, my friend? Marsal or Livramento? To be honest with you, I think, if you got Marsal or Livramento, I'd say Marsal is obviously the better option. Plays for Wolves, already got 2 assists. Livramento, I'd say Marsal has more upside. Livramento, I'd say is just a more secure player. Kabir says, greetings buddy, who should I bench? Dennis, Jota, Greenwood, sorry. Greetings, my friend. If you got Sarr already, bro, that's a crazy headache to have. Like, you want to bench one out of Dennis, Jota and Greenwood. I'd say bench Dennis. If you got Sarr, then you should bench Dennis. Storm says, Wiz, would you like to travel to Malaysia someday? Totally, my friend. I actually love traveling, and I've been to a lot of places before this Corona lockdown. So one day, my friend, why not? I'm hopefully have an FPL meetup as well there, innit? Footmix says Richarlison plays player. Footmix, I don't understand the question. Can you be please more clear? Will Jota start? I think he will start, yes. Cinema Crazy says Dennis or Saint Maxima. Cinema Crazy, the thing with Dennis is I'd say he's long term you could just keep him in your team. Is 5.3 million as well, and he's got some returns as well. He got 2 goals or a goal and an assist in the first game week as well, and he got a goal in the last game week. The problem is they're playing Josh King now, so he's not playing through the middle. Dennis, that would be my only concern. With Saint Maxima, it's hot and cold. Dennis, I think, is going to be more consistent kind of. Saint Maxima is more hot and cold type of a player. Aaron says, Wes, who do you think I should get rid in order to get Lukaku, Ronaldo, Ultra? If I was you, I'd get rid of Ronaldo. I would never sell Salah. He's the talisman of Liverpool. He's on penalties. He's a midfielder, and he's just doing so well this season. Ronaldo, I'm not so sure about. He's good, but is he as good as Salah? I'm not so sure. So if I was you, I'd sell Ronaldo for Lukaku next game week, but not Salah. Lukaku and Ronaldo are must going forward. I don't think so. I think one out of Ronaldo and Lukaku is a must going forward, but not both. I think that'll unsettle your team too much, unless you want to get rid of Salah, which I don't recommend. Someone says, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for the shout out, Soman. So Sean says, I have 10 starters and no bench. Already made 1 free transfer. Should I take a hit to replace Ailing and go with. If I was you, I'd replace Ailing, bro. I think it's better to go with 11 players, because if you play with 10, you're essentially getting 2 points less. So it is not a -4 hit. It would be a -2 hit if you just got 10 players. So there's no better time to take a hit when you've got 10 players. I'd say just take a hit and play a good player. Salmon says, why you sub out Ben White? Because they're playing Spurs, and I think Livermento is like an attacking right back. With Ben White, I don't see the attacking potential where the assist, unless he puts a 50-yard like a cross ball to somebody like Pepe or maybe Aubameyang. I don't see too many upside with holding Ben White or putting Ben White against Spurs. Against a small team, you could go with a clean sheet, but I'm not sure if a North London derby is the best time to be considering clean sheets, bro. Bubin says Dennis versus King it is now for Bamford. Bubin, the thing is, if I was you, I would say Dennis is more nailed on in terms of minutes. King, he got 2 assists last game week and he's playing through the middle. Maybe even on penalties. I'm not sure who's on penalties. Earlier it was Sarr with King coming into the team. I'm not sure if it's going to be Sarr or Josh King. But if you want a secure option, I'd say Dennis is more secure in terms of minutes, I'd say. Because when Joao Pedro, their striker, comes back, I think he's going to play through the middle and he's going to replace Josh King rather than Dennis. Should I transfer out Tony right now? I mean, that's what I'm thinking as well, my friend, for this game week. Let me show you my transfer page and what I'm thinking about my team as well. I'm thinking I'll possibly get rid of Tony and get somebody like Dennis or Josh King in for this game week, and save some money. Next game week, my transfer plan is definitely take out Luke Shaw for Alonso. That's what I'm going to do. As long as Alonso starts both the games against Juventus, Manchester City, and doesn't get injured or whatever, I'm going to definitely put Alonso in place of Shaw next game week. So that's my transfer plan already sorted. Maybe even, take out Ronaldo for Lukaku next game week if I have 2 free transfers, but one is already locked in. And I'm thinking about, the one transfer is locked. Shaw to Alonso is locked for me next game week, but I'm still thinking whether I should take Tony out this game week or maybe just replace Ayling. So that's just my my thoughts at the back of my mind, which are going on at the moment. Alright, let's move on. Buckshot says, hello Wiz. Hey Buckshot, welcome. FPL Light says Torres starts hold or sell, plans to bring in Gallagher instead of Torres. FPL Light says I think Torres is going to start this game week. But if I was you, I'd possibly sell Torres. I'd say it doesn't have that much upside. Torres, the fixtures are difficult. Chelsea away, Liverpool away. I'd say but the thing is, Gallagher instead of Torres, I don't think is the best option. He's good, Gallagher, but the fixtures are not dictating that we should bring in Gallagher. Maybe somebody like Ismail Assar could fare better, my friend. Akshay says, can you please explain how the free transfer works? Akshay, you get 1 free transfer every game week. So if you don't make that transfer, it gets rolled over to the next game week. At one time, you can have maximum of 2 transfers. So for example, right now I've got 2 free transfers and I don't make the transfer. Next week, I'm not going to get 3 free transfers. Next week, I'm going to get 2 free transfers. So at most, you can hold 2 free transfers in this game. So right now, I have to make a transfer before the deadline, right? So I hope that makes it clear. Bakshat says, Wiz, who would you captain out of these? Jimenez, Lukaku, Vardy or Mane? To be honest with you, I'm tempted to say Vardy. He's got a really good record against Burnley, but has not been in the best of form. Mane is been missing chances, like 20 plus shots in the box and missing those chances. Lukaku, I wouldn't captain against Manchester City. A bit tough one, my friend. I'd say Vardy or Mane, my friend. Buckshot. It's a tough one, to be honest with you. It's tough having all these options anyway, but if I was you, I'd captain one of Vardy or Mane. Rudiger or Tierney for the final spot. Long term, I'd say Rudiger. I'd even say Alonso is a better option than Rudiger for the long term. If he, I think he's nailed on that left wing back spot in that team, and he's an amazing option. Rudiger is a bit of a boring option for me, but I'd say Chelsea defender over an Arsenal defender any day, all day long. Mon says, should I keep Traore, although blank till now? He's got a decent fixture against Southampton. I'd say he can do something, but he's a very frustrating player to own, especially if you watch those games and watch him missing all those chances. Very frustrating, Mon. I totally agree with you. So, I don't think there's a problem if you want to transfer him out. It isn't the worst idea in the world. For example, if you want to transfer out Traore, but if you don't have any other problems in your team, you can think about transferring out as well. It's just so frustrating to own Traore. I'm just looking at Twitter, by the way. If you hear me, I'm silent. I'm just going through Twitter to see if I can find any news about Rafinha, because I have to decide my my transfers. No, No information about Rafinha. So if I don't get any information about Rafinha in the next 20 minutes, I'm just gonna make my transfers anyway. Alright. Buckshot says, answer that. Moving on. Oh, Smelly Web is here. What's up, Smelly Web? FPL Knight says, bring in Lukaku for Ronaldo in game week 7-9, seeing two options across Twitter. Yes, totally, my friend. If I was you, I would bring in Lukaku in place of Ronaldo. Yeah, and Lukaku, I think, is got such good fixtures, and Ronaldo's fixtures are turning. So what better time there is to do that transfer if you have to make it? Should I keep Grealish? I mean, Grealish is the kind of player who'll give you 5, 6, 7, 8 points every game week. Maybe, every couple of game weeks. He's not the kind of player who's going to give you 15 points. He's just not that kind of player in Manchester City at the moment. When Kevin De Bruyne comes back, you're gonna have to keep an eye on Grealish as well. Isha says, hi Wiz, hey, what's up, my friend? Monal says, what about Tony as a Wood replacement? I don't think so. Look at fixtures. I'm thinking about selling Ivan Toney, my friend. The fixtures are absolutely horrendous for Ivan Toney. Although, they're all at home. And I could keep him, like Liverpool home, Chelsea home, Leicester home, but I don't see him scoring too many points, and I've got a free transfer. That is also a reason I'm thinking about selling Ivan Toney, but I'm just gonna delay that decision at the back of my mind and let you know what to do about that. But if I was you, I wouldn't get Toney right now. If you don't have him, don't buy him right now. Usman says, is Trent starting? I think he should. All the news and all the pointers from the journalists, it points towards Trent starting. Yes. Play Ayling or Tierney? Ayling is injured, my friend. Play Tierney. Ayling is not going to play, I think. There's a bit of a doubt about Ayling, but I think Ayling's injury was more serious than Rafinha's. So I think out of Rafinha and Ayling, if anybody plays, I think it's going to be Rafinha. Ayling, I don't think so. Monil says Wood as a Toney. Yeah, I mean, Wood as a Toney replacement, I see it. Because he plays Norwich in the next game week, and you should target Norwich as all you can. So in my opinion, that's a good move, yeah. Where's your views on Alan St. Maxima or any other replacement? See, Jug, if you want to get Alan St. Maxima, that's totally up to you. For me, he's a very frustrating player to watch. Very, very frustrating. And, he is the hot and cold kind of player. Not consistent at all. So that's the reason I don't want to go for him. I'd say maybe even Josh King, Dennis are good replacements. Even Armstrong. Although the fixtures are not the best, let me show you the fixtures of Southampton. They're not the best, but because they've got Chelsea here. But other than that, I think the fixtures are good. You could go for Adam Armstrong as well. Replace Toney with Pookie if you're gonna sell. Good fixtures long term. I'm just not seeing enough from Norwich, Matea, to get Pookie in, my friend. They haven't done enough for me. I know their fixtures are good. Let's see their fixtures here. So they play Everton away, Burnley away. I don't think they're gonna score in these games, my friend. They're tough games for Norwich to score in. Yeah. Sid says, are you gonna do one transfer or two, bro? I think I'm gonna make one transfer next week. I'm possibly gonna take out Shaw for Alonso, and possibly maybe Ronaldo to Lukaku. It depends on what happens. I'm just waiting for the news, bro. I'm checking. I'm checking news. I'm checking the news on Twitter. Hopefully I'm gonna give you some updates on Rafinha, and if I can get updates, that'll be I'll be pretty happy making my transfers without having to sweat about things. All right, move on, guys. I meant this game week, Rudiger or Tierney. For this game week, I'd start Tierney. I'd say that's a tough one, Matea, but I'd say Tierney. Yeah. Dexter says, I bought into Livramento and Sar. Is a bench boost worth it? If you tell me your team, I'll tell you, yes. I don't remember your team, Dex, but if you tell me, I'll let you know. So our Todd says Antonio and Matip -4 or Trent Alexander and Pookie. Todd, the thing about... I like Antonio, but the thing about Matip is I'm not even sure if he's nailed on. For example, he was given a rest last game week. So that is the only thing I'm concerned about, whether Matip is nailed on or not. I like the move, but I'm not sure if it has to be Matip. Do you have any other options? Trent Alexander-Arnold and Pookie is, I'd say Antonio has more upside at the moment, because Trent has some tough fixtures coming up. Here, let me show you. You really don't want to get Trent before Manchester City at home, so we have to think about it. Manchester United away, Manchester City home. I don't I don't think this is the right time to be getting in Trent, as well as you're getting a player of the quality of Pookie alongside him. Antonio is good. Maybe some other 5 million defender if you can suggest me, and I'll tell you, bro. Soman says Manchester versus Chelsea is going to be a tactical. I think the guy Thomas Tuchel has dominated Pep Guardiola ever since he's joined Chelsea. I don't think Pep has been able to beat him, and especially at Stamford Bridge, I think it's going to be hard for Manchester City today as well. FPL Knight says, have Rudiger in my team, double up with Alonso to bring in Cancelo Diaz, or bring in Cancelo Diaz to get a City cover. If I was you, from game week 7, I would double up on Chelsea. Chelsea are just that good. Thoughts on Antonio captain? He's one of the best captaincy options in this game week, my friend. No doubts about that. George says, Rafinha and Ayling were seen leaving the team hotel with the squad yesterday. George, that's fantastic news. I hope they both start. Here I have some tweet. No updates as of now, but I'll let you know. Don't worry about it. I'll let you know if I have any updates. Sid says, bro, are you skipping my question? Sorry, Sid. There's just so many questions I keep skipping. I don't know. Hang on. Let me go back and answer your question, bro. Do you think Arsenal versus Spurs will be a defensive first game? It could be, but I still think they're going to be goals in that game. Sid. If you have any other question, please say it again, bro. It's just too many questions today I'm having to answer. Pepier says Ayling and Rafinha will play. I'm not sure. Pepier, let us know if you got any evidence based on what are you saying that based on, and we'll be the happiest people here. Anis says Reece James and Matip are likely to play in the Champions League than the Premier League. So is it wise to go for them? Reece James is going to play all the games, I think, for Chelsea. I don't think he's going to get a lot of rest. He is only out of the team because he got a red card, to be honest with you. Reece James is in the plans. I don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi is the long-term option anyway, on the right wing back. So I think Reece James is pretty nailed on in that Chelsea team. But if I was you, the first Chelsea defender I would consider is Alonso. Dylan says, do I take a -4 and do Torres and Bamford to Sarr and a 10 million less striker? But that means I have to play Omar Bamidele or keep Torres and trade out Omar Bamidele to Livramento and Bamford to... Don't like any of the options, to be honest, Dylan. The thing is, Omar Bamidele, I'm not even sure if he's going to start. That's the problem. So I'd first of all I'd prioritize fielding playing 11. I think Torres is going to play today, so there's no point in taking out a player for the upside when you don't have 11 players. Mitesh says 2 out of Tony, Sofal and Semedo. Tony and Sofal. I'd say, yeah. I have Salah, Lukaku and Ronaldo, says Ishtiaq. that would be some team, but I think the balance would be a little bit off, in my opinion. I tried to make a team with Salah, Ronaldo and Lukaku as well. Didn't like it at all. George says Ayling is playing centre back. Even if he plays, he's worth selling. Totally agree with that, George. The only thing is, sometimes you need bench players. Sometimes something happens in the game week. At least you need strength on the bench to give you that confidence. Sid says, bro, it seems like you aren't wildcarding. Sid, if I have a team strong enough and close enough to what I want to my wildcard team, I won't wildcard. Yes, that is true. I won't wildcard because I don't want to waste my wildcard. I can keep it till game week 14 and target the United fixture swing. Because to target the Chelsea fixture swing, what I can do is I can take out Ronaldo and Shaw here. See, it's so easy for me to just... There comes the Chelsea fixture swing covered in my team right there. So there's not a big problem for me. My team is pretty well set up to cover all the fixture swings and stuff. So if my team is good, I won't wildcard. That's true. Start Semedo or Manquillo. Semedo, bro. FPL Jack says your views on Kovacic. I would ignore him, bro. I don't like Kovacic. I think as an FPL option, he's not good. How many goals has he scored for Chelsea? 4 or 5 overall. I just don't like him as an option. Especially when Kante is going to be fully back. I think Kovacic is the one he's going to replace. Humayun says, Veltman, Livramento, Marcel, whom should I start? If I was you, I'd possibly start out of these Veltman. Because I think Brighton have a really good defensive record. Sanjay says, hi Wiz, hey my friend. Papier says, 1 week punt. Alan St. Maxim or King. Yeah, that's an interesting one. If I was you, I'd say King. Watford are playing at home. They're confident after beating Norwich, hopefully. So if you want to take a punt, I'd say King. Alan Saint Maxima rarely scores 2 goals in a game. So I'd say maybe a punt on King would not be the worst idea. It is both touch and go, bro. Whether you want to go for the better player or whether you want to go for the team which is in better form. Nile says Ings to Dennis and Brownhill to Sar for a -4. I still have my wild card. Excuse me. Not the worst idea in the world. Yeah, that's fine. For a -4, it feels a bit difficult to recommend it, but I like that. Sanchez, Foster, Shaw, Trent, Livramento, Weltman all playing White, Salah, Bruno, Greenwood, Benrahma, Sar, Jimenez, Armstrong. See, Dexter, I think I like that team. I'd say if you can bench boost. If you get like 10 to 12 points out of your bench boost, I think you should be happy, bro. That's not a bad team to bench boost. Especially after that, you can start on kind of putting that money back into your playing 11 rather than spreading it around. And he says, should I keep Grealish for any longer? I mean, if you have Grealish, there's no point in selling him because there's no like-for-like replacements in the same price point. Maybe next week you can sell him for somebody like, Havertz or depending upon whichever Chelsea midfielder you want. Sar for Traore. Gavin, that looks fine. Yeah. Bro, do you think Torres will keep it in place when the City fixtures turn? I think Torres is going to play 2,500 minutes for City this season, around. I'm not sure he's going to start every game, but I think he's going to play a lot of minutes for City because they don't have a striker, unless they bring one in January. Aaron says, any news on Rafinha? Not right now, my friend. I'm checking on Twitter. If I have, I'll let you guys know. Let me see if no news at the moment. All right. So Todd says Marçal or Livramento this week only. Todd, it's a bit difficult, one, because Wolves have flattered to deceive this season a lot. They've flattered a lot to deceive. So it depends on whether you own both of them and you want to start one of them, or are you looking to bring one of them in. If you want to bring one of them in, I'd say Livramento is a better long-term option because he frees some funds for you. 0.5 million is a lot, and I'd say Southampton's fixtures are becoming really good after game week 7. So long-term, I say Livramento is the better option. For this game week, I think they're gonna both get similar points. Maybe Marçal is the better option than Livramento just for this game week, I'd say. Hopefully Jimenez can hit one of those chances he creates in. Antonio captain over Ronaldo. Himayu, not the worst option. Yes, you can. Yeah, I'd say Antonio. If Ronaldo is a good option, Antonio is an equally good option, I'd say. Is King nailed for Everton? King? Which King are you talking about, Jugs? Hopefully I'm not mistaken, bro. King plays for King plays for Watford, bro. Which King are you talking about? Sorry, I got confused. Josh says, should I sell DCL or Bamford this week? Well, I think DCL is the more long-term injury, so I'd say DCL. Bamford may be back next week, so hopefully, Josh, it's better to sell DCL, bro. Joseph says, best forward to get under 8 million. Already got Antonio and Ronaldo. I don't think there are too many good options, my friend. Jimenez is an alright option, but he hasn't scored a goal till now. Other than that, I'd say just go down, maybe go for somebody like Dennis, or, maybe Chris Wood. Not much upside in that, but, there's not many options in there. Rafinha to Gallagher. Surfroad, it's fine. It's alright. And Crystal Palace don't have the easiest of fixtures in the next 2 or 3, but, if you can go to somebody like Sar, I think it'll be better. FPL's Sid says, Wiz, do you think Alonso will be the first choice when they're... I think Chilwell has some problem, my friend. I think Tuchel has selected Alonso as his first choice left back. Let's see what happens in the next 2 games against Juventus and hopefully it's Juventus. Against Juventus and Manchester City, how Alonso plays, and we'll know. Whew, guys, I need to have a drink of water. It's been like a machine gun, the questions today. Alright, just can't answer them all. FPL Sam says, hello Wiz. Hey Sam, what's up, my friend? First hit of the season, he says. Good luck, my friend. I hope you... I think you brought a differential in. You always do, right? You always like going for differentials. Right. Josh says, thanks mate, I appreciate it. You're welcome, Josh. Salah or Antonio to captain. Both good options, Aditya. Go with your instinct. I'd say you can't go wrong with Antonio and Salah. Is Tony out for Armstrong? Sid, not a bad shout. But next week they play a difficult match. Who do they play again? I just keep forgetting. I think it is Chelsea away. So next week they play Chelsea away. Other than that, I think Armstrong is a good option. Gohan says Sanchez, James, Semedo, Shaw, Trent, Salah, Sarr, Rafinha, Benrahma, Antonio, CR7. Like that team, Gohan. I like the team a lot. Hopefully Rafinha starts for you, but I like that team. Bipin says, shall I keep Bruno or sell him to get Sarr? Keep Bruno, my friend. I mean, if you don't have Ronaldo, keep Bruno. I think selling Bruno for Sarr just doesn't feel right, Bipin. Sarfa says, thanks, you're welcome, my friend. You're always welcome. Replace Grealish with Sarr, Gallagher, Greenwood, Benrahma. If you're totally hellbent on replacing him, I'd say for this game week, Sarr seems to be the better option. Maybe Benrahma second best option. The best is Sarr, But I would keep him, long term. Good option, Grealish. Nailed on in the City team. What else do we need, my friend? Bepin says, but Sarr has a great fixture. Totally, Sarr has a great fixture, but Bruno Fernandes is Bruno. They're playing at Old Trafford against Aston Villa, so it's hard, Bepin, for me to recommend you to sell Bruno for Sarr. It's just not a like-for-like replacement in it, so it's hard for me to recommend that. It's totally up to you. If you feel it in your instinct, then you should go for it, bro. Sarr for Greenwood short term. Sanjay, yes, I would do it. Who's the best attacking option from Chelsea other than Lukaku after this game week? Alonso, bro. He's the best attacking option. He's playing like a second striker for Chelsea. Honestly, I'm just saying that Alonso is the best option from Chelsea in an attacking sense as well. He's gonna do amazing. Alrighty, guys. I need to think about my own transfer as well. As long as answering your questions too. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna check on Twitter. Damn, guys, this is the problem. When you're waiting for team news, just doesn't come. All right. Akshay says I already answered that. Grealish hasn't been producing much. You think? I mean, he scored a great goal against Leipzig. Did Grealish? He's been trickling points. Like, he's a consistent point getter. He is not like a player who's going to get you 15 pointers, 20 pointers. He's going to get you more like a 6-7 pointer. So it all depends upon why you got him in the first place, bro. Bipin says thanks, Wiz. Good luck for the game week. Good luck to you too, Bipin. Hopefully I am. Wiz, do Rafinha to Sarr, says Sanjay. I'm thinking about it, bro. I just need to know whether Rafinha is fit or not. I think, guys, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is the impact of the absence of Bamford on Rafinha? Do you think it's going to make him a better asset or a worse asset? I think the absence of Bamford makes Rafinha not that attractive as an FPL asset. The problem is I want to have Rafinha long term. I don't want to have Ivan Toney long term. That is the reason I'm thinking, see, I'm going to either take out Ivan Toney, for somebody like Dennis. That is in my thoughts as well. So I can take out Ivan Toney for maybe Josh King, maybe for Dennis. That is one which I have in my mind. If I don't do this, then I'm gonna possibly, if I get news about Rafinha in the next 1 or 2 minutes, then Rafinha to Sarr is nailed on. Other than that, I'll just take out Ayling for Lowton. Now you ask me why Lowton? It's because Lowton has got Norwich in game week 7. And and after that they've got Southampton, Brentford, Crystal Palace. So I've got some options when I can play Matt Lowton, and the ownership is low as well. And I think Burnley are going to get defensively better. So even against Arsenal they were pretty good. So I'm thinking about this. These are my options. Let's see what happens. What do you think about that? Are you gonna captain? I have the same options. Currently I'm on Ronaldo, but I'd say all are good options, bro. Todd says Radagast says your bench is weak. Trade Rafinha for Sarr. That's what I'm thinking. The problem, Todd, about my team is that Tony is I think a weak link in my team because he's got some really, really tough fixtures, and that is the reason I'm thinking about getting rid of Tony when I've got 2 free transfers. I've already booked my transfers for next week, so that is the problem. Possibly get rid of Tony for somebody else because I don't see him scoring against Liverpool. I'm not sure whether you guys see him scoring against Liverpool. I just don't. I think if anybody's going to score against Liverpool, it's got to be Mbeumo because Tony's going to win a header. Mbeumo's going to run past. I mean, it's hard to win a header against Van Dijk anyway, so it's a bit difficult for me to kind of decide my transfer. Sometimes it's a curse having 2 free transfers as well, isn't it? Gideon says sell Rafinha and Gilmore, get in Sarr and Gray. I just want to make one transfer, Gideon, and wildcard in game week 7. If I have wildcard in game week 7, I could take a punt. Yeah, you're right, but just wanna keep my options open so that in case I don't wildcard, yeah. Samuel says start Cody or Rudiger. My friend, I'd say Rudiger because of the attacking threat he has. Cody's got none. Sarr and Alan St. Maxima for Tony and Rafinha. I don't want to get Alan St. Maxima in my team, bro. Jug, Rondon is only a punt until Richarlison and DCL is injured. After that, he's not nailed on, bro. You can take a hit, says Sid. I want to avoid taking hits this season, bro. Start Alonso Rudiger. No question. Start Alonso. Always start Alonso. Rudiger is a good option, but as compared to Alonso, no chance, bro. No chance. Alright, guys. I've answered hopefully a lot of questions. I need to make my own transfer. I'm just gonna... Mason Greenwood starts. Somebody has written odds on FPL. He's pretty accurate, guys. He's pretty accurate. So Mason Greenwood is starting. For anybody who owns Mason Greenwood, that's a good news. But that doesn't solve my own problem, which I think is Rafinha to... Rafinha just got off the coach at Doubletree. So somebody's posted yesterday's video in which Rafinha is getting off the coach. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. I just don't want to sell Rafinha as the problem. You know what I could do is I also have another option. I could take out Tony for somebody like Dennis. You know, let's say if I take him out for Dennis, and then I could update Gilmore to Sarr. That way I'll have both the players which I want. Doesn't look like a bad move, but 2 Watford players, no chance. No 2 Watford players for me. Who's the cheapest playing striker that I can get? No, let me just see. Sorry guys for not answering your questions. Need to just sort this thing out before I can come back and answer. I think the cheapest playing player is Dennis. I think you can't get cheaper than Dennis. I need to get rid of I'm sorry for not answering your questions, by the way. I'm not looking at the chat right now. I'm just thinking about my own team for a bit, guys. So just spare me a second. Get the Everton striker. No. I don't want to get Solomon Rondon. I don't want to get any players who are not nailed on for their teams. So this could be an option, right? This could be very well an option for me. Like, how much short am I? I could even do this team and take Ailing out for like Shane Duffy, but then I don't want to spread my funds around. That would be just wrong, you know. So Dennis, Pookie, I don't know. No Pookie for me. I just don't like his fixtures too. St. Maxima is too expensive. See, this is the thing. When you wait for the late team news, I mean, I've got news about Greenwood, which I didn't want, and I don't have any news about Rafinha starting. So Mason Greenwood starts is the only news I've got. That doesn't help me anyway, in any way, shape, or form. All right, just give me a sec here. So Rafinha to Sarr. Yeah, I could possibly go Rafinha to Sarr as well. That was the initial move anyway, you know. Keeping Ivan Toney is not my priority. Let's go Dennis, says Bubin. Even when Newcastle play badly, can get a goal. Dennis and Gray. No, I don't want to get Demarai Gray, my friend. There is no chance I'm going to go for Demarai Gray. Either I go for 5 in the midfield. I just don't like that structure of my team. That is the reason I always play a 4-3-3, you know. But it's just don't see any good options with Dennis, you know, unless I'm wildcarding in game week wildcarding in game week 7. Dennis is somebody who I want to get rid of pretty soon. The problem is if I get a non-playing player in my team, that's no news for Rafinha starting. No, on Twitter, guys, there's no news. I guess I'll have to just make do with whatever I have. Yep. So basically, I don't think we're going to get any news for Rafinha. So It is what it is, my friends. I'd say I just play it safe. Smelly Web says time to lock and load. Totally. There says bro, Rafinha in or out. I don't have any news, bro. Welcome, Sar. Here we go, Wiz. It's like talking about like talking about Fabrizio Romano, right? Start White or Duffy. Duffy. If I was you, I'd start Duffy. Raf will be that is the problem. Rafinha is playing against Watford next week, so that is the reason I want Rafinha in my team. Rafinha is not a player I want to get rid of. So why am I tempted? No. Let's not make a mistake here. All right, which striker can I get? Come on, guys, give me a good option here. The thing is, Dennis is gonna block a lot of funds because a non-playing player for 5.3 million is too much for me. Is there any good cheap player who plays? Kuko? No, he doesn't play much. He's just a sub. Ida doesn't play. Origi doesn't play. Balogun doesn't play. Lucaria. See, none of the cheap players are playing. If you go with the cheap striker, that is the only problem that you have. Yeah, I could go for Armstrong, but then again, the problem is then I'll have to wildcard because I know I spread my funds around too much. Not gonna help me. Yeah, I could go with Adam Armstrong, I could go with Pookie, I could go with Dennis. That's all I could do. Their fixtures, Watford, are not the best, and I don't want to go with two Watford players, so Dennis is out of the question. Totally out of the question. Armstrong, how many returns you got? 1 goal, 1 assist. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. What about... No, I think I'm going in the wrong direction here. I think I could get just get a non-playing striker. I think I'm just overthinking it too much. Just get a non-playing striker and be done with it. Todd says I have Pookie. Norwich stinks, but Pookie's and penalties. Benteke, J. Rodriguez had a good game. Joshua King, Pookie. See, you guys are all suggesting like the players were like expensive, very expensive. Like I don't want to have 6 players in like 7 players in my forward line who are expensive. So I need a cheap option, guys. And there is none here. I mean, I thought long and hard about my team all week and I couldn't find a good one. I'd say, which one should I go for? There's just none of the good options are cheap, which is why they're cheap, right? I'm going for Rondon. That's good luck to you, my friend. Trent Alexander and Torres. I think they're both gonna start. Yes. Start Liverment or Dennis. I have Sar. Dennis, I'd say. Always start the attacker over the defender. Anyways, not answering questions. I have 5 minutes. Hey mate, who can replace Tony for? Look at my screen, bro. I'm just gonna replace Tony. There aren't any good options here. For example, if I bring in Armstrong from which I'm not gonna play him in game week 7 anyway, so there is no point. Let's go for cheap strikers. Now, which name do I like? I've never managed to own Greenwood this season, and he's hurt me a lot. What about going with somebody like? Yeah, I could actually go for Ashley Barnes. How many minutes is he playing? He's played in almost all the games, isn't he? Hasn't done anything, to be honest. But he plays Norwich next, which is a temptation. But I think that's just not the way that we should be thinking about things. Alright, I'd say the cheap one it is. Alright guys, let's go for the cheapest option possible. Let's give me some money in the bank. Which option would you go for? Alan St. Maxima is fine. I think he's a good option. I don't want to go for another player, which, like, I don't want to go for a player which, like 7 playing players are not on my priority list. So yeah. Come on guys, give me a good cheap striker. 4.5 million. Let's do it. Let's do it live tonight. Scarlett from Spurs. Captain is gonna be Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo is my captain. All right, let's lock the transfers. Let's not keep it too late, and then somebody's gonna definitely. I want to check my inbox after the late transfers. So none of the cheap strikers have actually played. Which team am I never going to get 3 players from? Tottenham, because I'm an Arsenal fan. Scarlett is not a colour which I really like. Greenwood. No, but I already have 2 Leeds players. I don't want to go for another one. Josh Sims. No, Ellis Sims. This is somebody else. Locadia. No chance. Which name do I like? Street? Yeah, I like Streets. Yeah, let's go for Street. Yeah, maybe Street. Yeah, there you go. I think this name is good. Salmon says so hard to think. Now, I already had this transfer in. Why not get Sarr and Dennis? Watford have Newcastle and Leeds and then play wildcard. Yeah, that is an option, my friend. That is also an option, totally an option. Yeah, I could do that. How much money do I have in the bank? I've got 1.6 million in the bank. What am I supposed to do with that? The thing is, if I get Dennis now, I'm going to have to bench one of my attackers. I don't want to get into that headache every week, So no more thinking, guys. Let's do it. That was a good suggestion, my friend. But thing is, I don't want to get into this headache every week about which player should I start. All right. Here goes nothing, guys. Gilmore is going out for Sarr and Ivan Toney with a heavy heart, going out for Street after giving me 12 points last week, mind you. But sometimes you have to make these moves. Is it the right move, guys? What do you think? Football Intelligence Unit. Super Jack. What the hell does it mean? What does it mean? Super Jack. Guys, wait, I might have an update for you. Quickly. Give me a second. I don't know. No, guys, I don't know. I don't know what does Super Jack mean. Don't even know what it means. Should I make these transfers? Guys, 1 minute left. No, I don't want to get Alan St. Maxima. I don't want to get 7 playing players. That is the thing, guys. Quickly. I need to lock my team. There's not much time. What am I doing here? I'd say let's go for it, guys. Should I? Yeah. Alright. I thought long and hard. Let's lock the teams, quickly. Everybody lock your teams here. Look at my team here. I can show you my team and just go lock your teams. So I need to put in Sarr in place of Street. Save your team. Captain Ronaldo, first sub. Oh, damn, I don't have any playing bench, but anyways, that is not the point. Ben White is on my bench. Rafinha, Jota, Benrahma, Salah, Sarr. Vice captain Salah is fine. Captain is Ronaldo. I'd say that would be my team for this game week, guys. Ellis Sims, Everton. Yeah, true. Is it Grealish? So yeah, I need to go back to the news, by the way. That's the news. Quickly. No, I don't know. It says Jack something. Super Jack. What does that mean? Jack Grealish starts, I'd say. Yeah, right? Yeah. So that means Jack Grealish starts, but that doesn't help anybody of us. Anyways, the deadline is over, guys. Hopefully, what do you think is the best captain player? I think the Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be one of the most captain along with Salah. Yeah, I already made the transfers, my friend. I don't know why I got Street in. Maybe it was because of Step Up 2. I just like that movie a lot. Step Up. Yeah. Super Jack is a thing. Time for Zen, says an inner peace, says Smelly Rabbit, as always. So guys, it was a bit late. I initially, I had this transfer plan anyway in my mind. The thing is, I wanted news about Rafinha, and the only news we got is about Mason Greenwood starting and Jack Grealish starting. That didn't help me at all, and the only news on Twitter was that Rafinha was seen getting off the bus or something like that. But I've put myself in a situation in which next week I'm gonna make one transfer that is That is going to be Shaw to Alonso, you know. And if I want to get Lukaku next week against Southampton, I'm going to have to take a hit. So that is the situation I've got myself into. But that is fine, guys. I mean, my team looks fine because next week Rafinha's got Watford and I mean Sar's got Leeds, so that is fine. If I'm not happy with my team after game week 7 because of the situation I've put myself in, then I will wildcard. You know, that is the reason I have my wildcard, but I'm happy with my team. Maybe not happy with that I got a non-playing striker in my team, but I'm pretty happy. Pizza with sweet peppers or pizza with onions? You know, Todd, it's an Indian thing. It's a pretty Indian thing, but you know, when we cook, we always put onions in almost every vegetable we make. It's called tadka. So you know, onions, definitely onions. I don't know about everybody else, but you know, in India, there's a very it's a very traditional thing to cook a lot of things with onions, and then after you have your meal, you have a mouth freshener. You know, it's a very Indian thing. Not sure where it happens in you know, in the rest of the world, but in India, onions are the lifeblood of every vegetable that we cook. City to thrash Tuchel? I don't think so. I don't think City are going to trash Tuchel. As an Arsenal fan, what do you think of Tottenham? I'd rather not say because this is an FPL channel and I want to respect all the fans here. You know, although I'm not as kind of fanatic about Tottenham as the rest of the Arsenal fans who could just go to any length to kind of go after or, you know, shame the Tottenham fans. I think that's fine. I've got lots of friends who support Spurs and we are at talking terms, I'd say. And, you know, that's how it should be, guys. Anyways, Smelly Web says, why not both? Better to keep Shaw till Everton, maybe lucky to get assist. I mean, that is fine. You could do that. I just not happy with Shaw. Alright, guys. I'd say... Storm Shadow says, what are the COVID cases? The COVID is the testing is not being done extensively, so we're not sure what is going on about COVID. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Let's get to the predictions. So everybody's saying about predictions. It's time. We always do this now. We've made it a habit, so why not? Let's go down to the fixtures. I hope you can see the fixtures. Alright, guys, let's have some predictions for these games. Aman Sira says, I did Tony 12 and Saint Maxima. Good luck, my friend. I think that is a good move. Chris Wood and Zuma in. Interesting, FPL Sam. Goodbye, SH. Good luck. Alright, guys, so starting with Chelsea versus Manchester City. This is going to be a very interesting prediction, guys. You know, it's the champions, the Premier League champions versus the defending Champions League holders. It's a very interesting matchup. What do you think is going to happen in this game? I would love some crazy predictions. Technically, I don't think there's going to be many goals in this game, but I'd like your predictions to see what you think is going to happen here. FPL Jack says 2-1 Chelsea. FPL Sam says 2-2. Interesting, guys. I mean, you expect both of them to score. I was thinking more on the lines of Lightray says 2-1. Anis says draw. I mean, it could be a 0-0 draw, couldn't it be? I mean, you know, maybe cancelling each other out with their tactics. But technically, I think it's going to be a 1-0. It's advantage to Chelsea playing at Stamford Bridge in front of their home crowd. I'd say 1-0 to Chelsea. You know, at least most of the predictions, either it's a draw or it's a Chelsea win. Nobody's predicting a Manchester City win, so that's interesting, to say the least. But I'd say we're all unanimous on a Chelsea win. Todd says a draw, 0-0 draw. I think a 0-0 is a very realistic prediction, to be honest with you, because, you know, they might cancel each other out. When somebody too tactical is playing, when two tactical teams are playing, sometimes they overthink it and cancel each other out. Sometimes it's a boring game as well. I think Chelsea versus City could be a boring game to watch, or it could be the most interesting. It just happens. Unstoppable force versus the immovable object. I don't know what's going to happen here. 1-0 to Chelsea, says Barry. Akshay says 1-1. Anis says 1-1. Jed. So I think the most votes are for the draw, and it's interesting. If City had a striker, it might be different. I agree with that as well, totally. Alright, guys, so draw. We say it's going to be a draw. Scoring draw or a goalless draw? Not sure about that right now. Let's call it a draw. Manchester United versus Aston Villa at the same time. I don't know why they started the same time as this game. I think many of us would like to watch both these games. Very interesting, big clubs. But I think they had some Old Trafford. It was an Old Trafford thing, I'd say. Well, let's see what happens here. In my opinion, Manchester United are going to beat Aston Villa 2-0. What do you what is your prediction about this game, guys? I think Ronaldo can score in this game. That is the reason I made him my captain, by the way. Todd says 3-1 to Manchester United. Akshay says 2-0, 2-0. You know, the thing is why I called it a 2-0 is essentially secretly in my heart, I want a clean sheet from Luke Shaw before I transfer him out. I think until now, United hasn't kept a clean sheet, and I think they kept a clean sheet against Wolves, and out of 5 games they've just kept 1 clean sheet, so it's not the most encouraging record. And Aston Villa played really, really well at Stamford Bridge, you know, so I'm expecting Aston Villa to score. So 3-1 seems to be a fair result. Todd says 3-1, Barry 3-1, Lightrays 3-1, Anis says 2-1. He'll look out, FPL Wiz. Let's see, guys. You know, hopefully Ronaldo's gonna bank. We've captained a player in the first match of the game week. Not often. Not many times we've done it before. So hopefully it works out for us, guys. So United win. I'd say unanimously 3-1. Everybody says. Everton versus Norwich. I think this is going to be easy to predict. The only thing which we need to consider is: do you expect Norwich to score against Everton, or do you expect them to keep a clean sheet? I think we are all agreeing that Everton is going to win. Lee, the first prediction that comes out is Lee. He says Everton are going to lose this game. Lee, don't tell me you're a Norwich fan, by the way. You're really predicting that, huh? He says 1-2. That's a brave prediction, guys. And he says 2-1. I'm sure he means it. Everton. For me, this game is going to be. Unfortunately, Bailly is injured. I mean, Leon Bailly has impressed me so much. Whenever he comes on, whenever he plays, he looks like a hell of a player. That guy, Leon Bailey. Sorry, you meant to say hello, FPL Wiz. I get it. Hello, Mark. How are you, bro? Barry says 1-1. Interesting. Lightrace 3-1. Todd says 2-1. All right. That is a fair prediction, I'd say. The only one who says Barry says draw and Lee says Everton. If Norwich win this game, I'm going to shout out. Give a shout out to Lee. I'm going to pin his Twitter handle in the entire stream if Norwich beat Everton. That is what he's going to get for his brave prediction if that comes true in the next stream. All right, guys. So the unanimously we've got Everton win, and let's see what happens. Leeds versus West Ham. I think this is going to be a very interesting game. I'm not sure how Leeds are going to approach this game tactically. If they're without Bamford, I think Rodrigo's going to play there. You know, Daniel James is going to... Maybe Harrison comes back if he's fully fit. Harrison plays, otherwise Daniel James and Rafinha, we're not even sure who plays. If Rafinha is not fit to play, then Dan James is going to start on the right wing, and Harrison is going to start on the left wing. But I think their squad is paper thin. I think Leeds don't have any depth left on their bench. So if they want to change the game, they've got nobody to come off the bench anyway. So I think West Ham are going to win this game 3-1 with Antonio to score. Mark says, doing great. Thanks, bro. Slow start. No worries, my friend. There's lots of time to catch up. So just play it right from now, and I think you're going to be fine. Lightrace says 3-1. Todd says West Ham 2-0. So if anybody owns a West Ham defender, could be interesting. Somebody like Sofal could be a really, really good asset to own in this game week. You know? Barry says 2-0 to Hammers. FPL Jack says 4-1 Hammers. Storm Shadow says 2-2. Alright, interesting. Very interesting. I don't think it's gonna be... I think Leeds can score. You know, they're just the kind of team which can score. Somebody like Dallas, in these games, he comes up with moments. You know, Rafinha starting 11 for the game against West Ham today. SH says. SH, where did you get this information from? I'm going to be the happiest man if this happens. My friend. Hope for the best. Let me see if I can get some news on Twitter now. After all of Dean With 150, no information about Dean. I need information about Rafinha, guys. No information about now. Let's see what Asset says. Where did he get his information from? He says Twitter. Let's see, guys. Hope for the best. That's all we can do, right? Anyways, so the prediction is mostly Hammers win. Storm Shadow says it's going to be a 2-2. I think it's going to be a 3-1 personally for me. I think Leeds are going to score against West Ham, but they're going to win. West Ham. Leicester versus Burnley. I think 1-0 to Leicester. The way they've been playing, it's the general chant that we Arsenal fans usually sing when we score once 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's gonna be 1-0 to Leicester, I think. Burnley have looked toothless even against Arsenal. They didn't create too much to show me that they're gonna score against Leicester. And Leicester, they're getting their players back. Ricardo Pereira, Yannick Westergaard is back now with Ryan Bertrand, Soyuncu. I think it's gonna be 1-0. Lightrace says 2-1. Interesting. 2-1, that means Vardy is gonna score. Our friend George might have captained Jamie Vardy, who's so let's see what happens in this game. I personally am predicting a 1-0, to be honest with you. Leicester haven't looked good attacking wise. I mean, Brighton beat them. Barry says 2-0 to Leicester. That could be very well the result as well. Alright, we need some more predictions, guys, before I can move ahead to the next game, which is going to be more important for us than we all realized before the start of the this stream. Justin is coming back soon. That's gonna be interesting. I've never owned Justin in FPL, and he'd hurt me a lot last season. So hopefully this time around I'm gonna get hold of Justin if he comes back. Todd says 2-0 to Leicester. Yeah, I guess 2-0 to Leicester should be the unanimous decision on this one, or the prediction. Watford, Newcastle. I'd say this game is gonna end 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw, with Alan St. Maxima and Joe Willock scoring for Newcastle, and one goal is going to be scored by Ismail Yassar, and the other one is going to be scored by maybe I think Josh King or Dennis or whoever. I think it's going to be a 2-2. It's honestly, it looks like a scoring draw, this game. It's just feels that way. Two teams who are going to struggle for relegation, Watford and Newcastle. Todd says 1-1. That's he's also predicting a scoring draw, but one goal less. That is close to what it's going to be. It's going to be a scoring draw, I feel. These teams, I think they're going to cancel each other out. But one thing I would like to point out to you guys, Rafinha was amazing against Newcastle. Had he got a better finish, he could have scored 3 goals, Rafinha. And he plays on the same wing, on the same flank on which Ismail Sarr plays. That is the reason I was so eager to get Sarr in my team, because he plays on the same wing where Rafinha plays, and he exposed the Newcastle's left back so much and so often because he was pushing on, and he was getting exposed by Rafinha left, right and center. And if Sarr can do that, I think there are returns for Sarr in this game. That's just my logic, by the way, for going with Ismail Sarr. Let's hope for the best anyways. So I think it's going to be a scoring draw. Let's not predict the scores. Brentford, Liverpool, guys. I sold Ivan Toney, so let's hope you'll go easy on me in this prediction, and I hope Ivan Toney is going to go easy on me in this game. Right at the very end, when I was about to make the transfer, my head was telling me not to transfer out Ivan Toney, but I thought no. Last week I was gonna get rid of him if I could have enough money for Bamford. So what's different this game week? Just because he scored against Wolves, I think I should. Sometimes you have to stick by your predictions and your long-term plan. Todd says 3-0 to Liverpool. Interesting. Barry says 3-0. 3-0. It's like the same score. Like we chant 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's like 3-0 to Liverpool. Everybody's predicting 3-0. So that means like a return for Salah, Jota. Ismail Sarr destroyed Matt Target on the first day totally, and Matt Target is a much better left back than Matt Ritchie, I'd say, or left wing back. Whatever system they play in Newcastle depends on whatever system they play today. So that's going to be good. I think we're all predicting a Liverpool win. I'd say it's going to be I mean, Brentford have been good defensively, don't get me wrong. But I think they haven't faced the attacking team of the caliber of Liverpool and the form Liverpool are in right now. I think they're gonna totally beat Brentford today. Not sure if they're gonna keep a clean sheet, guys. But it depends on how the game goes. But let's hope for the best. The next game is going to be Southampton versus Wolves. Again, interest for me in this game. I've got Livermento in my team. Yeah, there is something of interest for me. I hope Southampton and Wolves both keep a clean sheet. Looks like a game which is going to be settled by 1 goal. Honestly, I don't see too many goals in this game. Wolves haven't been scoring too many, and Southampton haven't been scoring too many. So I'd see maybe 1 or 2 goals maximum in this game. 2-0 for Liverpool, scared of Jota. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair scoreline, my friend. 2 or 3-0 it should be. Southampton 1-0. Interesting. Barry says 1-0 to Saints as well. I think you're all keeping in account the home advantage, and I think we should. This season it's different. Last season away and home games weren't that much different. So interesting. Southampton 1-0 says Todd. Barry says 1-0 to Saints. Light Rays says 1-1. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think it could be a draw. It could be. There's not going to be many goals in this game. That's all I can predict. The both teams are shy of scoring this season for some reason. All right, so the next one is Arsenal Spurs, the North London derby. I think not going to be many goals in this game. Both teams are well out of their depth in terms of, for example, they're so far away from the top 4 in terms of quality. I mean, Spurs and Arsenal, traditionally we would call them the top 6, but I don't think there's a top 6 in English football right now. It's just top 4. 1-0 to Spurs, says Barry. Oh, come on, guys. Cut me some slack. Gunners 1-0. There you go. Todd's my man. I honestly think, Arsenal can edge past Spurs in this game because Spurs have looked so bad in attack. I mean, they've looked good in defense, but in attack they've looked so bad. Harry Kane looks like a shadow of the player he was last season. Hasn't looked good at all. And, because he was linked with the transfer move to Manchester City and that didn't materialize, and now he's having to kind of bite his tongue a little bit. Tough period for Spurs. For Gunners as well, but they've won 2 games. They're coming in with some momentum. Home crowd up for the derby. I'd say 1-0 to the Arsenal. Hopefully, guys. I hope you agree with me. Anyways, I'm never gonna predict a Spurs win in the North London derby, especially at home. Come on. Let's go and predict the last match of the game week, which is Crystal Palace versus Brighton. I think this is going to be a very interesting game to watch. In terms of Crystal Palace has been good. They beat Tottenham and Brighton beat Leicester. So Odsonne Edouard coming to the fore, and Brighton have got a nearly fully fit team again. It's going to be a very interesting game. Lamptey is back. Lamptey is back on the bench, and I think he's a very injury-prone player. I wouldn't go for him as long as he doesn't show us some consistent game time. Todd says Crystal Palace 2-0. That means our friend Sanchez is not going to get any points in goal, right? This is a tough one to predict for me personally. I think it's gonna be decided by 1 goal. I think it's going to be a similar game to what Brentford versus Brighton was. Because when Brighton go away from home, they're playing pretty well. I'd say 2-1 to Brighton. 2-1 to Brighton seems like a reasonable scoreline to me as well. Todd says Crystal Palace 2-0. Lightrace says 2-2. So you see, that is the reason I said this game is going to be interesting, because these are 2 teams which are very difficult to predict for us right now. Have Sanchez, Weltman on the bench. Please don't get a clean sheet, Seagulls. Mac. Let's say Sanchez gets 6 points. That would be fair for everybody, right? Maybe let's say they concede a goal and Sanchez gets 3 save points or a bonus point or something like that. Let's give everybody a chance. Alright, guys. So it was interesting in today's deadline stream. To be honest, there was lots of questions today, and I hope I managed to answer all of them. Some are for friends after I stream. They write to me on Twitter that you never answer our questions, but guys, please do understand. I try my best. It's hard to answer all the questions, but I hope you can find the answers to your questions. Sometimes when I give my answer to somebody, it's not just for that particular person. It's just a generic answer which can be applicable to everybody. For example, I might have answered the captaincy question maybe about 10 times, and hopefully you manage to lock your teams on time and you have a great game week. So this is going to be all for me in this game week. In this game week's deadline stream, guys. I know there's not been an FPL council in the past couple of game weeks, but I've just been so busy. There is going to be a midweek FPL council this time around, however. So I hope to see you on the FPL council. Till then, I'm gonna take your leave. I hope you all take care of yourselves, and I hope you all have a great game week. May the arrows be green, guys, and FPL Visit gonna be signing out. I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.